Did y'all see Rebel Moon? Did y'all see that? So I just finished up Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver, and man, Zach, we gotta talk, bro. So real quick, I was one of those people that was really hyped up for Rebel Moon. When I heard that originally it was a Star Wars pitch from Zach to Disney, I had instant intrigue, mixed with the fact that for the most part, I do enjoy Zach's style of cinematography and the grittiness that he decides to bring into his projects. And after the first one came out, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit disappointed. I wanted to make a video, but I was a bit discouraged about even talking about it because I felt let down. There were things that I liked, but there was a lot that I didn't. And I think that unfortunately, some of those dislikes bled into the sequel. So getting into part 2, I want to talk about the positives that I have first, because I do have some positives. First, Zach continues to show his creativity and his love for his projects in this film. I think that the world that Zach has built for this story is amazing. Visually, it's stunning. The scope, even though most of the movie takes place in this kind of farmland type territory, it's still a beautiful landscape. But I think that where it shines is in the action. The lava or plasma blast from the guns, the movement of the plasma sabers is very cool visually. And it was in these action sequences where I felt really invested. Zach is well known also for his slow motion moments, and he continues to lean on these moments either to show intense emotion or just to show off a badass shot or a badass move. Another positive that I have for the movie is Cora Athaleus, the Scar Giver herself. In the first movie and in this second one, she has been my biggest draw. Something about her story and the way that she's played, I just find so compelling. She's this traitor to the Imperium who was turned on by the people she considered to be family and is now ready to go to the highest lengths to try and bring them down. And she just so damn ruthless, man. When she gets in her war mode, oh man, I enjoy every time she gets into action. But bringing me to some of my negatives, again, I find myself in a weird position because I really want to like this movie, this franchise, and be excited for it. But some of the aspects and the characters that we follow, I just don't care about. The characters that come back from the first film into this one, I still just didn't care. The first movie did such a horrible job at making us bond with these characters that I found most of them to be forgettable, and that kind of bled into this film to the point where some of them I didn't even remember. There is a scene in this film where all of the main characters are around this table and they're sharing their stories, and really they're all the same. We were living our life, we were doing our thing, in comes the Imperium and wipes out our civilization, and now I want to fight to get revenge. And I get that having these similar stories gives motive and reason for these characters to want to fight together to try and achieve this common goal. But with each character only getting a few minutes of screen time between the two movies, I just wanted to move on and get on to the juice. Really, the only characters that I did care about was Cora, Titus, and Admiral Noble. Everyone else was kind of out of sight, out of mind. Although I will say that I do find Nemesis to be kind of interesting. It was cool to get a little bit of her backstory and how she got those plasma sabers. A little underwhelming, but it was cool to see the type of pain that one has to go through in order to be able to wield these sabers, and it is pretty crazy. Another issue I had was just the slow startup, man. This movie is about 2 hours long, and it spends like an hour and 10 minutes or so with heavy exposition and prep that I felt could have been done in like 30 to 45 minutes. The first movie took a lot of prep too, so I figured that with the sequel, we would kind of just dive into it and really get things going. But no, we have another plan to save the same village, and it kind of just felt like a repeat. I know I said that I enjoyed the action, and believe me, I did, but even that I felt could be polished up. The action at times felt a bit slowed down, like you could tell that it was choreographed, kind of like the Disney Plus Star Wars shows that we've been getting lately. So I'd really like to see them pick up the pace with that and really go for it. Overall, I think I'd give this movie like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. It's watchable, the lore being built up is interesting, the world building that Zach is doing is fun. And when it comes to Cora and her beef with the Imperium, I am genuinely interested. It also seems that we'll be getting a bit more from James the Robot and his mission regarding Princess Issa, and I find that to be an aspect to be curious about. And I will say that the last battle, the ending, did have my jaw dropped with the way that that went down and the way that it ended. But I just think that the movie falls short by taking so long to get going and really still not making us care enough about these characters who seemingly are way more connected to each other than we are to them. I'm not gonna lie, there is a death in this movie that is supposed to be a significant moment and is supposed to make you feel some type of way. And the entire time that this scene is happening, I just did not give a shit. I was actually almost glad because I didn't even really like the character to begin with. But as far as Rebel Moon Part 2 goes, that's all I got. How did you like it if you saw it? What are your thoughts on the franchise, and are you excited to be getting a third one? And also let me know if you'd like to see a spoiler review and we can kind of get into the bigger scenes and dig a little deeper. As always, if you enjoyed the video and you stayed this long, hit that like button. It helps more than you think. And be sure to subscribe while you're down there so that you can stay updated with the rest of the videos that be coming out. But as for me, I'm cutting out. For you, stay geeked up.